Hi, hello, me again, coming from the extreme low budget of using my phone. And just to explain exactly how much that is, it may fall because it is currently balancing on 2 textbooks, a computer, and what's holding it up mainly is my glasses case inside of a bag full of random shit that I need. So yeah, that's where we're at. But at least, I put on makeup for you guys. Let me know what you think of my makeup skills. I'm trying. What do you think? I can't see what's in the camera, so I don't even know if it shows. Like I said, I also never know where to look, so for the time being, that's what it's gonna be. I'm hoping there's not too much of an echo because I've decided a series that I'm thinking of. Let me know what you think of it, unless the quality is really, really bad. But I'm hoping once I get, like, I was really graciously gifted a phone and a computer, and if I can get, I still have to set up the other one. I'm so bad with technology, I've been afraid to touch it, so I'm using my old one that's cracked and keeps cutting off the videos, so I figured it's better at least than I make a video that's full, even if it's in lower quality, because at least then I can feel like I can do it more. So until the setup is like much more practical, I'm hoping that this type of thing is easier. I do want to know like if the echo is too much in here, because moving to different rooms can help, but it seems that the audio is pretty good. I got pretty good feedback with the audio. Thank you, Snowbish back. I mention you so much, but still, you're like a, I think they, okay, I'm gonna be really autistic for a second. I think they say OG. I'm just gonna say one of the first faithful followers that really made me actually want to continue doing this. And just to say, I shout you out so much because you give really, really good feedback. And a point also, I saw something about like the political things, about including those or not. And I said in a comment, like, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. People are going to disagree with me. And I could say nothing, and yeah, I'm not a big YouTuber, so maybe it wouldn't react the same way. But I personally am kind of like, if you want to come at me and attack me for something like that, that's whatever. Show me your differing opinion. This is my channel though, so I do have the power that if somebody says something racist, something disgusting, something like that, I can just delete it. And you know what? Productive conversations I think are fine. Come at me for whatever I believe in. Go ahead, give me a good discussion. Even if you came to me and you're like, I voted for this person or that person, this is why, this 1, 2, 3 is why, I don't mind. I think it's good to have those type of productive conversations. In any case, let's set that aside. This has been a bit of a long intro. I've been thinking the series that I was thinking, if the audio is decent, is kitchen floor and crime, or crime on the kitchen floor, something like that. Let me know what you guys think, because I am not forgetting the whole fact that I'm doing like true crime. It's just that it was harder to focus on it because so much was going on in my personal life, and so it was harder to do that. And to be perfectly honest, this case that I wanted to do, I actually recorded it before, and I recorded a video right after I had like watched the documentary and done most of my research, and it's so sickening to me because of how close it hits to home. So I'm thinking of doing this kitchen type of thing, a kitchen, true crime kitchen floor, something like that, because like, or I don't know, something in the bath. No, that has really a lot of echo. Tell me what kind of series you guys want. Apple juice and crime, I don't know, something cool like that. I don't want to do like just a crime, but I plan to include like, maybe I'm gonna include true crime because I do want to include that type of idea. And so I also saw some things about including the psychological aspect, so I do want to include that. And so this, I'm going to start off with the true crime, and get your apple juice if you want to join me. I don't know, Diet Coke, orange juice, whatever the fuck you want. And I'm going to try to explain some of the psychological things, but also some of the cultural things, because I am half Arab, and this case includes somebody who is within the Arab Peninsula and deals with that type of religion within the like extreme aspect of it. This might be a bit of a longer one, but this is going to be the very basics about it. I can go much deeper into it if you guys feel like, but I'm going to start out with some smaller videos. And I'd actually waited so long because I was afraid I wouldn't give this case justice. But I'm not great at editing, I don't know all that, but this is something that I relate to with my culture that I grew up in. It's one of the bad parts, and you'll know why. it hits hard to home, and it just felt like I wanted to make it perfect, but there's no way to make it perfect. And also, any of my things on the psychology and all that, and anything on this case, this is not done with any type of disrespect. I gather my information online with whatever sources I can find, and I evaluate it with the things that I've learned during my studying for very many years now of psychology, and doing a lot I was very into true crime for years. I'm talking since when I was back a teenager. I've owned the DSM since the Diagnostic Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, basically the Bible of psychiatry and psychology, since I was 14, reading it for fun, like for fuck's sake. Also, if I have black on my face, it's because it's so hard to put on black lipstick. If anybody else does that, please let me know if you had the same struggle. Especially, like, it could be the stick kind, it could be, this is liquid drying matte one. That's different. But anyways, any of that is not meant with any disrespect and any type of thing like that. This is all my opinions if I express them. I am not a licensed professional. I am a student who's a pre-med slash psych and criminology major, because the American system is weird. You have to get a bachelor's to go, but I'm technically pre-med. Okay, so I will use the knowledge that I have, the resources that I had, and I will do this with the utmost respect that I am capable of, because this is a very important case to me. So let's get to know Banaz. Her name was Banaz Mahmod. Banaz Mahmod is the other way to pronounce it. She was a beautiful, beautiful girl, and I don't just mean the outside, but the inside. And I've seen the documentary, and her sister was there, and she had disguised her voice and her face and everything. And that was, she had to just hide her identity for safety. See, Banaz was one of many children in a family, and I have some notes here, so I'm going to be looking to the side maybe. I don't know where to look anyways, but she had 5 siblings, and the one that was speaking there was, you see, they had a very, very strict family. Very, very strict. And they go by a lot of the old traditions of what is in Islam or Islam. And I'm going to tell you right now that everything that is done in this case does not express what Islam is. This is not what it's about. You'll know what I mean, but this is not anywhere near what it is. I've grown up there. This is a sign of extremists. There are extremists in every single religion, anything. Anything can be an extremist. And this, I want to show you that this is a case where it went wrong, where it's something that shouldn't happen anymore, where it's something that happens so much. They only calculate around 100, don't quote me on this, but around hundreds or so really low numbers a year. No, this is about an honor killing. And an honor killing is something that is a tradition that is very bad, much more common than people think of, because it is something within a family, and who usually goes to look for their child? Unless they kill them, but still, usually the family comes in at some point. This is the part where the family betrays the person by taking away their life because they disrespect her, or were just they basically screwed up the family name, and so they're gonna kill the person to get it back. That is not how the culture works. Genuinely, the good people, there are good and bad in every type of situation like this, but this is not what the culture is like. I'm going to say that over and over and over again, because I grew up there. I saw the good sides and I've seen the bad sides, and I also spent years, it was part of my curriculum. I was in an Arab school. Part of my curriculum was studying Islam since I was literally in elementary school and kindergarten. It was integrated in everything. So I'm going to say I know a fairly decent amount of this shit, because it was part of my life for so long. I was integrated, lived in the culture. I didn't just visit there. No, I lived there. And I lived there and I went to school there. So believe me when I tell you that this is not something that is supposed to happen. And I not once heard about it being something that should be good. And the 15 years I was at school or something, I started really early, and my mother was like, let's have her develop her social skills and go to preschool twice. Haha, I'm autistic, that's why it was so bad. But anyways, so yes, I'm going to give this the most respectful way, and I'm going to say once that this person never deserved to die. And I got a lot of my information from a documentary called Banaz, A Love Story. Because what she was killed for was being in love, essentially. But that's not okay, because you're not supposed to speak to men in the culture. I'm all over the place with this case, but I guess this is just going to be how I present cases. I'm going to try to be more organized, but let's keep going. So Banaz was described to be a very calm and happy person who wanted, her dream was she wanted a family. She was very loving. And I remember her sister was describing her like, if she was in, she said like, around the terms of, if she was in my life would be like orange and yellow. Is a direct translation, I think, like bright and happy. All she wanted was to be happy, to be loved, to make to the people that she loved, to see them happy. She wanted a family. And her nickname was Nazca. That's what her sister said in the documentary, which means delicate. And she equated it to like a newborn lamb. That was her nickname, because that expresses her personality. I want to go in a lot to who this person was. Because it's so awful. To give you an idea, because I don't know if I'm going to be decent with the thumbnail to add her picture or something. And you guys know, I'm not an editor. If I tried to edit, you guys would get like one video a year probably, because it just takes away all of the the creative aspect that I want to do. I don't find editing fun personally. It's very frustrating and it takes a long time, and I have a lot of studying to do and a lot of shit to do with myself, my brain, and all that. And so, like, I'm gonna give you guys what I do, and tell me how I can improve it. So I'd love all your opinions. Moving on, because I'm ADHDing all over the place. To describe her, since I said that I might not be able to include a picture, she had this like a heart-shaped face. She was described as very beautiful, and the pictures are very beautiful. I might try to add links like to the documentary, especially, which I really think you should watch. It's beautiful. It is a beautiful thing because they do go into her as a person, which is an important part, because a lot of times we learn a lot about the perpetrators, but we don't learn enough about the victims, and they're the ones that need to be remembered. Remember the other people for how much they're a piece of shit and deserve to get what they got, as not like justice-wise. Hopefully they got it. But she's the one who got everything taken away from her when she was 20 years old. She had a heart-shaped face, hazel eyes, apple cheekbones. This is how her sister was describing it. And she had dimples. And the way I saw the picture was she had a really cute heart-shaped face. She had a smile that was beautiful. She was so beautiful. She was born 16th of December, 1985 in Iraq, or Iraq. Don't know why people call that. It would make more sense to say Iraq, because the proper pronunciation, at least in Arabic, the way we say it is Iraq, which is hard to pronounce, but I don't know why people say Iraq. I guess I could get it, but anyways. She was born there and lived in a Kurdish, Kurdish community. Kurdish communities can sometimes be very, very strict in following the Islamic rules. And a lot of times, from my research, Kurdish people in their communities, honor killings happen. And we don't know how many, because so many of them aren't reported. Because what happens is the family are the ones that do it and make it disappear, because they're not going to report their child. That's a very common thing that happens. And she lived in, at the time when she was younger, she lived in a very rural area called Mirwadel, and it was a tribal type of area, so very, very strict, very, very old-fashioned type of thing. Think those old-fashioned villages and all that. And that was with her 5 siblings. And when she was about 10 years old, she moved to the UK. She moved to London, or the UK, I believe, is London. These parts I don't always look into as much, because they're just dates, exact places and stuff, but the main story is the important part. And so let's move on. After she moved there was a lot of strictness. Her sister, the one who's in the documentary who was hiding her identity, was actually one that ran away from the family because of all the strictness, and she had to go into hiding, and to this day is still in hiding because of all this. Now back to Banaz. At the age of 16, she was forced to marry She was forced into marriage with a man, with a person from like family within their hometown. I believe his name was Ali. They like were hard to like hear it because, you know, pronunciation and all that. And essentially she was forced at 16 to marry a man who basically, they described him as just off the plane, illiterate and very traditional. Now, I'm not shitting on people who don't know how to read. I'm saying that she didn't know this man. He couldn't really articulate things or be literate. He was very, very traditional. And they were together for 2 years until she just couldn't take it and went back to her family. And that part is really the hard part, because she had gone to the police so many times, multiple times. There are videos where she's telling her story of what happened. And during that time, he would repeatedly rape her, tell her that she wasn't good looking. She had lost a lot of weight, and at one point he just was like, you're too skinny, you look ugly like this, and she just couldn't take it anymore. And when she was talking to the police, she was explaining how he would just make her do everything, and it was to the point where in front of people she called him by his first name, which you're in their community in the tribal area you're not supposed to do, and he would beat her to the point of black eyes. At one point in the discussion, she said that she was hit so hard, or abused so hard, that she had memory problems. She had a problem remembering things from how hard she was hit on the head. She would have bruises, and she tried to keep like a diary and everything. But I believe he found it. This is all from my memory, but the facts are there. That's why I'm going to link the thing, but I do know that she tried to keep some records, but he found them. Now, I'm making this and doing my best, and this is why I was scared, because I'm scared if I get like a single word wrong. But the reality is she was severely physically abused and severely sexually abused. And to go back, when you have a very traditional family, it's very hard to get out of a marriage. When you're in this traditional family, like for example where I grew up, if you're a divorced woman, you have nothing at all. And people will consider you in a way tainted because you've already been married. They don't want to marry you. Then the woman has nothing. And it's very, very sad, but it's a reality. So leaving your husband is very hard. Now, before she actually moved back, which was after 2 years of marriage in 2005, July, she tried to move back with her family. Before that, she complained to them and tried to tell them what was going on. And she said that all the things that happened, like, he would hit me for this, and then he would rape me, and then the husband came back and was like, or speak better, he went to the family and all he said was, well, I beat her because she didn't like do what I said, along those lines, just like, I beat her because she did that, and I only forced her to have sex because she said no. And the family just said, okay, go back, you need to be a better wife. This is a truly sickening thing to me. And I'm going to make this a multiple part thing because it's a bit of a story and it's hard to like put it all together. And I wanted to make this one so you can see what kind of person she is, see what she went through before I get into the crime part. So this is going to be part 1 of getting to know Banaz and her family. And I'm just going to leave it at, after 2 years later, she started a relationship with a person named Rahmat Slimani. I believe that's how you say it. But if you were to say that, that would be Rahmat. And if I were to say that in Arabic, Rahmat means like being given mercy in a way. Like Rahma is like a mercy. I don't know, because sometimes there is a language like Farsi. They'll use the Arabic letters, but to an Arabic person it'll be gibberish because they use it differently. So kind of like if you look at Latin, they use the same letters, but it looks like gibberish sometimes to us. That just came in my head because I'm studying Latin. Coincidentally, the phone is also balancing on that. In any case, that relationship is one where she fell in love. That's one of the reasons the documentary is called Banaz, A Love Story. Right now, for this video, I'm not going to include the link yet. I was thinking of putting it on the next one when I went more into the true crime. If you guys want it, I'll leave in the comments a pinned comment, and I can pin the link there. I just don't know which one you prefer. If you want to hear me say it first or them, but just let me know if you want the link, because I'm completely fine with that. I'm like trying to withhold it. But that's an idea of who she was. And this is everything that happened before it led up to the really dark shit. So this was her life before, very, 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 compacted. This is a very, very, very small amount of it, but this is what I could find. And from what I can see, all she wanted was to be loved and to find happiness and to see people she loved to be happy. And essentially, in the end, she met a fate that no one should get just because you're in love with someone. And I will tell you more about that in the next episode. Guess it's a cliffhanger of sorts. Let me know what you think of this method, if you have any ideas of what you want for future true crime. I'm sorry I don't know how to edit or do proper stuff like that. So, I'd love to include more photos and stuff, but it's just... I want to be able to give you content that doesn't stress me out and that I enjoy creating. Because I'm not going to put up something that I just hated making. And yeah, I think one of my edited videos is the most popular in my videos. But that's... If I kept trying to do that, I wouldn't want to make videos anymore. I will end this now. And I should hopefully be uploading part 2 very soon. I may upload another video in between. We will see what happens. Let me know what you guys want. Please, please, please tell me if you have any requests. I would love to know if you have any case requests. If you want to know more about my opinion on the psychological level. And the reason I'm not going into it yet as much is because I want to do that more towards when it gets into the dark stuff. But from what I can tell within this is that the family had a very, very strong hold. And when you have that, there was a lot of insecurities that can come with that. Because think of it, if you're constantly told that you're doing something wrong, then you're going to start being insecure about things. Or essentially the manipulation, all of the abuse, the type of stuff where listening to something where someone says, he raped me, or you say, he raped me, and then it was well, it's just because she said no, go be a better wife. Imagine trying to feel that. I'm going to try to go into more of my opinions of the psychological aspects, like I said, when we get to the darker stuff, because I think that would go into it more. And I want to know what you think of her so far, what you think of this. If you want me to have crime things differently, I'm probably repeating stuff. Thank you for watching. Please comment. I love the comments, and welcome to all the new subscribers. We're almost at 40 subscribers, and I am so fucking happy about that. Thank you to all of you. I tried to respond to all the comments. I think I did. I really, really, really love the engagement between you guys. Honestly, I can't wait until I get enough to do a live stream. I don't know how to, if you guys would like a live stream, but there's not many people. It might be scattered different time zones, and it would be probably a bit difficult because I don't have that many people. But I'd be fine if fucking 5 people showed up, or 1 person. Let me know if you guys want a live sometime, which honestly I wonder if it would be the same thing as if I did a Twitch thing, but it's a whole other platform, barely good with YouTube. But I don't know, maybe I'd be good at that. I'm just hoping that these type of videos are at least interesting in a way, where I'm just talking to you, telling you the story that I'm interested in. Because that's what it is, that's what I'm doing. And I'll include random videos in between, because this channel seems to be the most random amalgamation of different types of content. Yeah, so tell me if you guys have video ideas. And I would love true crime recommendations if you have specific ones you want to hear about. And if there are specific things you want me to address in the way I'm talking about it. Now, I've been talking for way too long. So, yeah, do all that shit, whatever. Tell me about the audio. Tell me about all those types of things that I usually ask about. And let me know what you think. I'm really excited to talk to you all. And thank you so much for all the new people that came. So, bye for now. and do all that shit or whatever you're supposed to do that a YouTuber tells you to.